Hello Smarkies, DJ here, and I will tell you if this week's edition of SmackDown was worth it. As we all know, we had our first Road to WrestleMania pay-per-view, which is always the Royal Rumble. And I'm very excited to be on the road to WrestleMania. As we all know, if you watch the Royal Rumble or keep up with WWE, Shinsuke Nakamura won the men's Royal Rumble. And he came out and blabbed about, talked about how he needed John Cena in the face. Roman Reigns needed a face. Everybody needed a face. So, and he says that he will be the new champion when he faces AJ Styles at WrestleMania in a couple months. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn obviously have different ideas, and they interrupt Shinsuke. They say that they were screwed. Kevin says he did not tag into the match against AJ Styles. He didn't. Obviously, the refs saw it differently. The ref thought he tagged in Sami Zayn, but as everybody knows, it didn't happen. AJ comes out and says they're just a bunch of whiny babies. That match happened. It's over with. They shouldn't be talking about it anymore. Shinsuke is going to fight. AJ said he wants to fight Shinsuke at WrestleMania and not the two bastards, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They're good wrestlers, but they're too whiny. But you can check it out. It was a really good segment. Kofi versus Jinder versus Rusev versus Zack Ryder for the number one contender spot to fight Bobby Roode next week on SmackDown for the United States Championship. And as you may know, Bobby Roode did defeat Jinder Mahal a few weeks ago for the United States Championship. It was actually a really good match. Before that match, we have a backstage interview with Kevin. We have a backstage segment with Kevin, Sami, and Daniel. And Daniel does agree. Kevin Owens says they need another chance. So, Daniel does agree, and you need to check out that segment. I'm not going to tell you what happens after that, because it's very interesting. You just got to see it. So, check it out. Very good segment. It will determine what happens next week. So, check it out. And then we have two quick covers in the beginning of the Kofi, Jinder, Rusev, and Zack Ryder 4-way for the chance to face Bobby Roode. You have two quick covers. Jinder and Rusev take control early over Kofi and Zack Ryder. Jinder takes over most of the match, like he always does. And everybody in the match does a little bit of their thing. Kofi does a little bit of high flying. Jinder does a little bit of this. Rusev does a little bit of that. It was a really good match. It went back and forth a lot. I really do suggest you check it out. It was a really good fundamental match and had a little bit of outside ring action, a little bit of inside ring action, a little bit of everything you would want in a match. A little bit of high flying even. You know, how Kofi goes outside the ring, there was a little bit of that off the top rope. Please check it out. It was a very good match. And your winner was Rusev. So will there be next week? Will Rusev Day start next week with the United States Championship match? We'll just have to, with the belt, we'll just have to find out when he faces Bobby Roode next week. Now we finally get back to the Fashion Files. One of my favorite segments of the SmackDown. Breezango was taking over social media, and the Ascension was helping them answer questions on the computers and stuff, taking over Twitter. So, but Sheldon Benjamin and Chad Gable they came to join the party, and I don't know, you just have to check it out. It's a really good segment. It kind of sets up the match later tonight against Breezango and versus Chad Gable and Sheldon Benjamin. So check out that segment. Then the Usos come out and talk about how they beat Sheldon Benjamin and Chad Gable at the Royal Rumble last Sunday. And they won the 2 out of 3. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match with the Usos winning 2-0. It was a really good match. but the second pin was really quick. So I didn't agree with that. But anyway, they did win. They talked about all the teams they beat, locked them down. They were saying Sheldon Benjamin, Chad Gable, lockdown, so forth and so on. Check out that segment. They just talked about how they were beating everybody, how they're the best tag team. I think they're the best tag team not only on SmackDown, but overall in the whole WWE. Maybe in the whole wrestling world. Who knows? They've been very potent. But as they're walking out the ring, the Bludgeon Brothers come out because they have a match against two local competitors. And they just showed the Usos that they're ready to fight them at any given moment. So, will we have a match at Fastlane? I don't know. Please check out that match. The Bludgeon Brothers just destroyed these two local competitors. But it was very, very good match. I love the Bludgeon Brothers. The WWE's keeping them strong, and I like that. Next, we have a backstage segment with Shane and Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger talks about how he didn't even get a chance to be in the Royal Rumble. He was supposed to be, I think, number 10 or number 11, somewhere in that range. And he came in and got attacked. Didn't even get to be in the Royal Rumble. So, he talked about that. And then Baron Corbin came in, interrupted, and tension started getting tight. Check that out because it does set up a match for tonight against Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. So yeah. And then Charlotte Flair comes out and gets asked by the reporter, gets asked by one of the reporters in the ring how she liked watching the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. And, talks about how she wishes she would have been in the match instead of on ringside because it was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. You kind of have to check it out. It's, and she was talking about what happened after with standing in the ring, what happened after that match with her as the women's champion for SmackDown, Asuka as the woman who won the Royal Rumble, Alexa Bliss as the women's Raw champion, and then Rowdy Ronda Rousey, who debuted after the match, as everyone predicted. Everyone predicted her to debut, Rowdy Ronda Rousey to debut in the Royal Rumble, but she debuted after, and it just blowed up on social media. And she talked a little bit about that. Yes, you can please check out that segment. It's a very good segment about who she'll face at WrestleMania. You might find out or you might not. You'll have to check out and see. And then the Riot Squad came out towards the end of that and started. At first, Charlotte was able to take out the Riot Squad. 3-on-1, very impressive. But then, as we know, the numbers game caught up to her. And you just have to watch how she got obliterated. Ruby Riott said she won't get to WrestleMania. And you'll just have to find out and see if they really took her out enough to stake that claim. And then, actually, I will say that Ruby Riott, the Riot Squad did take out Charlotte. Because the next thing is very important. Carmella comes out and tries to cash in her money in the... She cashes in her money, tries to cash in her Money in the Bank title. And you'll have to watch out if it worked. Watch that segment if it worked or doesn't work. You just have to wait and see. Next, we have a backstage segment with Shinsuke and AJ Styles talking about their game plan for their match tonight against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Please check that out. It'll help you on what's going to happen tonight in the main event. And then Carmella gets asked right before the Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger match. Carmella gets asked backstage about what happened with the Money in the Bank contract, and you'll just have to find out what happens there. Next, we have Baron Corbin versus, and do check out that segment. It's a very good segment. Next, we have the Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger match. This match goes back and forth a whole lot. There's a whole lot of wrestling. Both competitors do their best to try and win the match, but in the end, Baron Corbin does a few moves, takes over the match towards the end, and end of days to Ty Dillinger and pins him 1, 2, 3. That's the end of the match. You can check out that match if you want. I would recommend it. Really good match. And then we have another segment with the other tag team, Kevin and Sami, who are going to take on the tag team of Shinsuke and AJ Styles tonight. Kevin and Sammy talk strategy backstage. Please check out that segment because it's a very good segment. Another game plan segment to find out what they're thinking of for their match tonight against their main event match tonight. And then we have the second to last match of the night. Breezango versus Sheldon and Chad Gable. And if you watched Fashion Files, you will know why and how this match happened. So both teams have good moments, but in the end, Benjamin and Gable ultimately win. And I think they're the second right now. It's kind of a toss-up between the Bludgeon Brothers and Benjamin and Gable. Benjamin and Gable are still trying to stake the claim that they should fight the Usos, but I think their time is up. They've lost to them enough, and I think the Bludgeon Brothers will take over, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next we have our main event match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke and AJ Styles. This match goes back and forth a lot. Sami, towards the middle, towards the middle of the match, Sami Zayn tries to get involved while he's, tries to interrupt the match while Kevin and Shinsuke are fighting, but Shinsuke throws him out the ring. And Kevin Owens gets really mad because he didn't see it, and he thinks he should be able to tag, It goes back and forth. Things get heated between Sami and Kevin ringside. Really good. Sami, kind of just walks back to the entrance, watches it there. But he does come back in, messes with the match a little bit, goes back and forth. Tensions get heated with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I won't say how, because you'll have to watch the match to find out. And, but then again, Kevin and Sami lose. And I think next week's match with Sami and Kevin Owens will be really interesting because tensions were heated in this match. As you know, the match next week, you just got to check it out. I think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will still be friends after this. I know Sami Zayn had a backstage interview afterwards, and he said he still wants to be friends with Kevin Owens even after this match. It's just an opportunity thing, he said. He says that it's his time, and he thinks that Kevin Owens has had enough chances at championships that he thinks he's ready for this match. And I kind of believe him. I think you should check out that segment, check out the whole main event, and then the interview backstage. Overall, it was a really good match. Really good SmackDown. I give it about an A to an A plus. Yeah, just check it out. See if you like it. I did. Until next time.